single ounce, which is probably 2 drinks for most people, is enough to completely light me up. Cleo says, that's okay, dude. I like those, and I'm easy to get drunk. Hi. What are you doing later? It's already late there, isn't it? Beagle Boy is asking if I have a PlayStation 3. I do. I've actually streamed from it briefly. I streamed some Uncharted 3. I want to get back into it after I get my crap set up upstairs. Look at this list here. You don't actually need to play all of the Final Fantasy games. I would honestly skip 7 because it'll take too much time. 5, 4, 5, and 6 will probably do reasonably well. The later ones are very long and really don't stream as well as some of the earlier pixelated ones. Rocket Knight Adventures, I would agree with 100%. Chrono Trigger, also agree. Secret of Mana is surprisingly difficult to play now. Your guys always get stuck behind things. And again, I would also skip a couple Phantasy Stars. Possibly just do 2 and 4. And Mean Bean Machine is essentially a Puyo Puyo game. In fact, I think it's the first Puyo Puyo game to make it to the US, but... Oh, Starflight. Starflight. So you're talking about Mega Man 2, 3, and 9. I would also add the first Mega Man X game to that list. Matt Sturt is asking what's the cutoff date for retro. I say it actually has no cutoff date, because a game can be new but retro in temperament, like Battle Kid, which is actually, you know, only a couple years old, but it is definitively a retro game. So I would even say things like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World would count as retro. Anything that intentionally adopts retro styling slash gameplay slash whatever, I think counts as it. And yeah, Mega Man 9 and 10 definitely fall into the same category. Still says if you're looking at a temporal cutoff, I'd say N64/PS1. The problem with that kind of cutoff is that even the GameCube is now 12 years old. And we were using the term retro to describe NES stuff in, you know, 1994. In fact, in 2 years, the NES in America will be 30 years old. I think that like early PS1 or PS1 games and N64 and similar games are not going to hold up as well, or won't hold up as well because of the limitations of early 3D gaming, to the point where they damaged gameplay even. I mean, you can read reviews of video games in the mid-90s where it's all like, game looks beautiful, control sucks, or give me freaking camera control, that kind of stuff. And games that did well usually either didn't make camera control, basically didn't make camera control a problem. And it's a problem, I mean, it's something that we have fully figured out now by having, for the most part, on like a rear, behind-the-shoulder game, you have your analog stick where you sort of nudge the camera occasionally, but most of the time you have a smart camera that keeps it in roughly the right place. I mean, even Mario 64's camera, which is one of the reasonably good early examples, is still awkward to deal with today. But like Sonic Adventure, which is an okay-ish, not really good game. It has a first level, which is awesome, and there's like 2 other really good levels. Everything else is blah. That game works best when its camera's essentially doing nothing, when you're going really fast and the camera is just straight behind you. But when you try to move those cameras around, that'll be frustrating. Let's think of other retro games to add to that secret list. Crystallis. Actually, Crystallis is very hard to play. It's one of those games where you kind of need a manual or a walkthrough to know where to go, because bad translations. Wasn't there a like a Kickstarter for a new Tex Murphy game that was going to be live acted? I remember playing the demo for Under Killing Moon, which is a Tex Murphy game, ages ago, and I thought it was neat at the time, but I think that that kind of stuff doesn't hold up well today. People have streamed Zork before. I've actually considered streaming Uplink. I think that would actually stream surprisingly well. Especially because you could stream it in a really high resolution with relatively low bandwidth. Alright, well it hit 5, so I actually need to make dinner for myself and someone who's currently asleep and shouldn't be. And is currently drooling on a pillow. Yeah, GOG is a good choice to find retro games. Star Control 2 / or Quan Masters, whatever the open source one is a wonderful game. And you can play it in very different ways. So it is something that you can sort of play multiple times. The sort of end goal is always the same, but it is wonderful. Actually, let me put on the ending song to play out. Come on, where are you? Come on. There we go. I really just need a playlist for that. So it'll be right at the top. Cleo says, tell? Tell what? That's only one word. Tell. Am I giving off a tell? Am I gonna fail at poker? kiss and tell. No, 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 no. I don't know if anyone else is streaming. I will actually look that up. Team Bagel. Just me. Here, Grace says, tell about the menu and the possible new business with boots and fire extinguishers. Oh. Yeah, that discussion should not happen in earshot of someone who is currently sleeping. Because that is a completely 18+ discussion. I should try Tyrion 2000. After, I'm not sure if I'm going to do another run of the cave immediately. Oh, the PC version of Spelunky, I think, is also a good choice to stream. I bought Antichamber, so I wanted to try that one out. So that's probably the next game. Antichamber or Tyrion 2000? I'm actually gonna look this up. Wait, I've seen Tyrion 2000 before. I've actually never played MDK1, but I really enjoyed MDK2. I have it on the Dreamcast, and apparently there's like an MDK2 HD remix or something that's available. Earthworm Jim 1 and 2 you can play, and they're pretty good. The third, or 3D, skip entirely. There is no merit to that game at all. Also, something that would probably be interesting to see would be Chex Quest, if someone can find a copy of that. It's probably free to, free to play / download / whatever, because it was developed as a promotional item. Especially 4-player co-op Chex Quest. Alright, everybody. I've missed streaming with you guys. Big hearts and stuff. I will see you later. I'll probably tweet about it this week, but I'm 70% sure Community Day will be this coming weekend. All right, by that I mean the weekend of the 23rd and the 24th. So it'll probably be on the 23rd. Anyway,